Well, coming back to my last question of this interview, is that you have already given us this exposure that we have to figure out that why are we doing this thing? Why is something that we should take it like our cell phone with us, and we should, for every single situation, for every single question, might be for every single solution, we should ask why. What is the purpose of that? Why? So, but it's not easy. We understand that this is also something that we have to make it in the environment that everybody is thinking like that. For which, what do you think? And what do you think? Like, what should be the procedure, or what should be the steps being taken by the government or by the institution to develop this environment over here in this country, to be specific in Pakistan? So, what are the steps by being taken by the government? What are the steps should be taken by the institutions for that thing, to giving this type of awareness to the students or to the
I want
youngsters?
to I want to highlight 2 points.
Please.
One historical and another more contemporary. Let me start with historical. We all know that how Muslims translated Greek knowledge and philosophy, maths, medicine into Arabic, philosophy and all that. So this is how, when Europe was in dark ages, all that knowledge was preserved by Muslims, and then during when Enlightenment period started in 12th century, as a result of crusades and interaction with Muslims, all that knowledge was transferred to Europe, and then the whole process of Enlightenment starts. Now, what we forget, or what we don't ask, is that why did it happen, and why it's not happening now, right? So translating Greek knowledge into Arabic was perfectly fine. No one actually imposed fatwa on Farabi or Ibn Sina or whatever. Hey, why are you doing this? Right now, the argument is given that, oh, Islamic civilization was expanding, it was triumphant, and their taking of Greek knowledge was taking the knowledge of the subdued. Right? But the real story is there was a political context to it. Umayyads were overthrown by Abbasids, and Abbasids had overthrown Umayyads on the basis of their slogan that they will restore Prophet's family to political power. And when they got power, they actually refused to fulfill their promise. Now, from religious perspectives, they were being attacked. They say, hey, we need to bring some rationality. And where the rationality and reason will come? It will come from Greek. And then it was an expanding empire. It needed mathematics. It needed medicine just for the armies to build castles, right? So the material reasons, right, for this, the why question, need to understand why we cannot ask why question in Pakistan. There is a reason for this, right? And then you ask that government should do. This is my second point. That is contemporary. Government will not do anything which does not serve its purpose. Government will not do anything which does not prolong it. And politicians will do anything, literally anything, which may prolong them into power, because that's the whole purpose of being a politician. As a politician, you are not a charitable person. You're not somebody who is just interested in things for the sake of it. There are some people who are ideologically motivated, but the whole purpose of being in politics is actually to become powerful, to become form a government,
Of
right?
the stay
No,
post.
exactly. So government will not do anything which does not serve its power. Now, if I were to understand that how government should do it, I will understand what makes government to do certain things. Huh? So what makes government to do certain things? Win elections? How you can do win elections? In Pakistan, it's very simple. You win electables and that's done, right? Now, if I am a policymaker, if I have to make an intervention, I will say, look, maybe we need to turn the standards, need to change things, right? So what makes people vote for a certain politician? It's not that if you are caught into some role and you are detained in a police station and you want your politician to go and basically rescue you. If the standard is changed that you will vote if they open up school and provide education, only then you will vote, then the standard is changed, right? So I would urge my our viewers, please don't get frustrated, try to understand things, right? And it's unfortunate that we don't have much time, that we could not focus on how we can help youth to achieve their goals. One of the things is that they must visualize what they want to be. They need to have role models. And role models should be realist. You have seen, you have met them. Historical figures, they were important in their own right. For me, going into law simply Jinnah, right? So I went into public sector schools. Jinnah and Iqbal were my heroes. I actually had their pictures in my home, right? So it was not enough for me that we had Jinnah and Iqbal in our school. I brought them home also, right? So when I passed my matriculation, I was the top student and I was expected to read sciences and become either engineer or doctor. I said, look, I have to become Jinnah, right? But then when actual reality hit me, when I just did law and saw that, oh, my father is not Punja Jinnah, I cannot go for bar. I cannot afford just keep on practicing for 2 years, even if I don't get even a single brief, right? So my father was a farmer. There was then enough funds after I graduated. There was expectation that I will start earning and start sporting because they had invested in me 5 years of university education, right? So the reality was different. And then I had to find different role models. And different role models are, who are they, right? People you have seen, like if in legal career, you have maybe Salman Akram Raja. You just see what made Salman Akram Raja. How long did it take? Then it will make your journey and the hurdles you face during your journey more bearable, right? So life actually molds you. It reminds me of a picture of a person who's actually carving himself or herself out of a stone, right? So if you want to become a professional, whatever professional you want to become, doctor, engineer, lawyer, academic, hey, it took me post my undergrad 2015 until 2014 that I got tenure track. And it was only in 2020 that I got permanent job, got tenure, right? So it took me 15 years from my graduation to become an associate professor with a tenure at a university. Now, if you want to become an academic, if you want to become a teacher or professor at a university, this is the time it will take. Now, if you set your eyes on this and you have this time span, 15 years will pass and whatever problems you face, they will become bearable. The issue is that when you don't see light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, this happened to me. I just did not have any lawyer in my family. My mother is illiterate. My father didn't go to college, right? And when I graduated, I had absolutely no idea what I have to do with my life. So just going with the flow. But one thing I just knew, that whatever I do, I want to be the best, or I want to be the best version of myself. So I
Great.
started practice. I said, oh, I'm doing well. But then I had a chance of teaching as an adjunct in Qaid Azam University back 2006. I said, oh, I loved it. I would love to be a teacher, right? And then I went for my master's, and then I did my PhD. I was doing very good, doing international arbitration. There is lots of money into it, and I was doing well. I was working in one of the best law firms, highly paid, highly respected. I was earning money. I had very good career, but that was not something which I was enjoying. But I was enjoying. It's a privilege to be interacting with young people. Believe me, Farhan, I just see students entering, they are 17 or 18, and then when they graduate, 22 or 23, they are scholars. Believe me. In my final year, I don't call my students, I call them scholars. You
Great.
see them grow, right? And honestly, I must admit, in camera, in front of you, I have simply been pretending to be a teacher for the past 1 decade. My students don't realize that actually I was the student and they were the teachers, right? So I'm constantly learning from them, constantly learning. And
Amazing.
believe me, I have taught variety of students, undergrads, postgrads, professional courses, you know, taught executive business law for executive, taught judges, very senior judges, such as judges of anti-terrorism court, right? So I've been teaching in Punjab Judicial Academy for 5 or 6 years. Taught international judges, judges in Afghanistan, judges in other countries. Students I found in Pakistan, honestly, the best kids, inquisitive, hungry for knowledge,
True.
hungry to excel, true hunger. You just see, right? Craving for it. So I think it's a privilege for me that I have had this honor to be their professor, to be their teacher. Although I think I was the one who was learning from them.
That's wonderful. Well, Zubair, thank you so very much for your time. It was such an intellectual talk we had today. And this is something I feel like would give the real benefit to the viewers as well. So, I mean, I really wish to have more questions. I really wish to listen to you more the way you have the extensive knowledge of very, I mean, it seems like that you are just standing on the corner, but there is an ocean inside you and you want to jump into that. And we also want to explore that thing. So for that thing, I'll be disturbing you. I'll be asking you to give me time again and again, might be once a month, twice a month. I'm not going to leave you right after this meeting. It's going to be the beginning. It's not going to end. It's going to be the beginning, inshallah. Well, thank you so very much for your time, Zubair. It was
Farhan,
really lovely listening to you. Yes,